Hello students, today we are going to take up a very important topic of class 8, which is conservation. But yes, before we go into conservation, let us learn a few simple topics or concepts which will be important for you throughout the entire chapter. So we will first talk about the concept of biodiversity. So what is biodiversity? Biodiversity, as you can see over here, the name was coined, the term biodiversity was coined by E.O. Wilsons in 1985. And what does biodiversity mean? Well, if you split up the word, bio refers to living. Bio comes from biology, biological, so it refers to life or living. What does diversity refer to? Diversity refers to the different types of or the variety. So living and variety, that means here we are talking about the different varieties of living forms that we find in the world around us, right? So biodiversity refers to all the plants, all the animals, all the microorganisms, anything which is living in this world at this moment is the biodiversity of the world at this moment, right? But you also know that we have had several species of plants and animals. One very common example is a dinosaur. I'm sure you must all you've heard about dinosaurs, and that dinosaurs have become extinct. So there are certain organisms which used to be there in the world once upon a time but are not there in the world anymore. So they belong to a kind of a class of organisms which is called the extinct organisms. So there are different plants and animals, even microbes, which have become extinct over the course of time. But at present, whatever life forms we have in the world constitute the biodiversity of the world at this point of time. Here we'll introduce two terms to you. See, bio means life and diversity means variety, exactly what I wrote. Hence, biodiversity refers to the variety of life on the earth. But again, we all know that like many species have become extinct, there are still some species, there are innumerable such species of organisms which are in the verge of extinction for any number of reasons. It could be due to the way we handle them or the way we are polluting the environment. It could be due to a forest fire, it could be due to a cyclone. So due to different reasons, the biodiversity of the world, or let's make it more specific, several species of the biodiversity of the world is or are under the great threat of extinction. So if you don't control those threatening factors right now, then a time will come when they will soon become extinct. So this is all about the biodiversity. The ones that were there initially, they are called extinct, and the ones which are present in the world right now, they are also, there are certain species among the biodiversity which is under a grave threat of extinction, and such organisms are called endangered organisms. So we have learned two terms over here. One is the extinct organism and the other one is the endangered organism. Endangered, in danger. That is an easier way to remember. So endangered are those organisms which are in a huge risk of extinction in the near future. Now, let us talk about a very important concept of biodiversity loss. You know, there are different reasons, there are different factors which contribute to biodiversity loss. Human beings play a very important role in disturbing the biodiversity. Human beings are responsible in a major way for many of the plants and animals not only becoming extinct but also gradually becoming endangered. We have seen that several endangered animals have already become extinct because of human activities, and a very important activity of human beings, which is a very important cause of biodiversity loss, is deforestation. By deforestation, we are referring to the loss of the green cover in the world. So what is deforestation? Deforestation means it is the damage of different plants in the world. But again, having said this, human beings are not always the only cause of deforestation. Sometimes nature itself plays a villainous role. Sometimes nature itself can, put an entire forest or destroy an entire forest. It can put an entire forest into danger. So nature also sometimes plays a very pivotal role, and of course we have our own activities also which contribute to deforestation. Now if you see the man-made causes, they are housing, agriculture, furniture. We will come to this one by one. What about the natural causes? The natural causes are flood, forest fire and climate change. If there's a sudden flood, if there's a flash flood, it is very, very destructive. It can wash away innumerable number of plants and animals along with it. Next, forest fire. A forest fire is not always put up by human intervention. Forest fires, their causes are natural, right? So whenever a forest fire is there, it's a huge amount of area which is destroyed because of the forest fire. Lastly, the climate change. We all know that the climate of the world is in a continuous process of change. Who amongst us has not heard about global warming? Right? The earth is continuously warming up. Right? So this climate change has caused what? Has also caused a loss of or a lack of rainfall in certain places. So for all these reasons, climate change or maybe global warming or lack of rainfall, all these can also be severe causes of deforestation. What about the man-made causes? Housing, agriculture, furniture. Just to name a few. There are innumerable causes. We'll see it in the next slides that apart from these also, there are many other causes which are activities which can lead the biodiversity into threat. In the next slide, we will also see not only the causes of biodiversity loss, we will also see how the loss of biodiversity will impact us. Okay? Let us go on to the next slide. So here you see deforestation. We already know what is deforestation. It is the loss of the green cover from a major region, from a large area of the world. Now in the first column you will see the causes of deforestation. What are the different causes of deforestation? In the next column you will see the effects of deforestation. What are the consequences of those deforestation? And once we understand this, we will come to know why it is very important to control these causes so that the effects, the harmful effects, can be curbed down. So here we will learn about the controlling measures and the saving of biodiversity. So let us come to this commercial logging. That means destroying trees, cutting down trees and obtaining the timber from them. That is called logging. Commercial logging means cutting trees for commercial purposes, for making houses or for making furnitures. All that is called commercial logging. Then shifting cultivation. What is shifting cultivation? Shifting cultivation means, say for example, there is a big forest, right? And in that big forest, there is a community of farmers who clear one land. How do they clear the land? They cut down all the trees in that area, or they burn the trees in that area, so that a sizable portion of the land is cleared and they can plant their crops there. Now when the crops are ready, when the grains are ready, they harvest the crops and they burn off that area. Whatever stubs of the crops are remaining, which is not wanted, which is not desired, when they remove the grains, the stubs are burnt off. So what happens is, this creates an area where there is no plant anymore, right? So that means one portion of the forested area is gone because of agriculture. Like this, they again select another area, and the same way all the plants, all the naturally growing plants of the forest are cut off from that area. That land is cleared and there their own crops are planted till the same crops are harvested and they go to another region again. So this is what they are doing. They are gradually cutting off the trees from sizable portions of the forest, and thereby they are cutting down trees and contributing to deforestation. Next, urbanization. What is the meaning of urbanization? Urbanization means constructing cities. So in cities you need a lot of place because a lot of people are going to be living there. You have to set up schools, offices, factories, hospitals, parks and whatnot. So in doing that, what happens? Large areas of forested lands are gradually cleared off so that an urban settlement can be constructed there. Next, overgrazing. The villagers take their cattle or sheep into the forested areas to graze upon the plants or the grasses there, and they do it rampantly, they do it irrationally, so that what happens is very soon the plants in that area are destroyed. Mining and industrial development. Right, destroying a forest or cutting down the trees in a forest and extracting coal or maybe some important minerals from that place, that is called mining. Or for industrial development, cutting trees and making industries there, that is the next point. And then we have expansion of agro-based industries, industries which will supply to the agricultural sector. Maybe certain fertilizers or pesticides. All these are chemicals which are used for farming, but the factories from which these chemicals come, they are made by cutting down the trees of a forest. And lastly, we have the forest fire. It is a natural cause of fire which we have seen in the previous slide, where a natural cause like a forest fire or a flood or a cyclone or a climatic change can destroy an entire forest. Now moving on to the effects of deforestation. So here we have learned about the different causes that can cause deforestation. Let's learn about the effects of deforestation. So what are the effects? We all know that plants, wherever plants grow, they take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, they give oxygen to the atmosphere, and an area where there are lots of plants, that area also invites a lot of rainfall. So these are the perks of having a green cover. But when you remove the green cover, what are the effects? The climate changes and global warming happens. The climate changes, the coolness of the place is gone, and it becomes, because of the lack of trees, the temperature of the area rises, and that also contributes to global warming. Next, loss of natural habitat for all the plants and animals which had been living in the forest. You know, this forest, they are natural, they are natural heavens of the world, where plants and animals have started depending on each other. They have learned to depend on each other since centuries together. There's a beautiful interdependence between the plants and animals. So once you destroy the plants, the animals dependent on the plants are also gone, and so what happens is the natural habitat of the plants and animals are destroyed. Soil erosion, when the plants are not there, you know, the topsoil is exposed, so wind or water can easily destroy the topsoil, leading to soil erosion. Droughts, as the plants are gone, so there is less rainfall, leading to droughts. Changes in the rainfall pattern, lack of rainfall, sporadic rainfall, sudden rainfalls. So all these is a change in the rainfall pattern because the plants have been removed. Desertification. When the plants are gradually being removed from a particular area, what happens is, and then the topsoil also gets exposed, so the topsoil is also eroded, and gradually the land becomes barren. It will not be able to hold plants any further. That is called desertification. And then loss of fertile land, this we have discussed earlier. So since the topsoil is gone, so the loss, there's a loss of the fertility of the land in that area. So you've seen the grave consequences of deforestation. So now we know that deforestation is bad for us. So can we take some control measures to check deforestation? Of course we can. What are these? Reforestation and afforestation. Reforestation and afforestation means, reforestation means a forest which was once there, but now due to maybe our activities or due to some natural causes, that place has become devoid of trees. That place is a barren land now. So we can plant trees once again in that area which used to be a forest earlier, and that is called reforestation. What is afforestation? In an area which was not a forest, you can plant trees. There are so many areas present. You can see it around your house, around your schools. There are so many areas present which is just barren, which is just lying barren without any utility. So we can plant trees over there, and that is what is known as afforestation. Next, recycling plant-based products. Recycling plant-based products, say papers, or say the bamboo, the timber which comes out of the plants. Reuse them, don't throw away. That means minimize waste, minimize plant-based wastes. Start reusing the waste, using those things which you consider waste. Start reusing them so that plants are not destroyed indiscriminately. Then laws against cutting trees. This the government have to be very strict about. The government has to ensure that several strict laws and punishment is made for those people who do not listen to these warning signals and they go on cutting down the trees indiscriminately. Next is management of the expansion of the cities. How long, how much is the city going to expand? It is expanding fine, but it is expanding at the cost of the plants. You are cutting down innumerable amounts of plants to give way to a city, to give way to the expanding buildings of a city. So there has to be a cut there also, there has to be a ban there also as to how much a city can expand, so that the green cover remains undisturbed as much as possible. Okay, so that means in this slide we have learnt about what are the different causes of deforestation. We have learnt about the grave effects of deforestation, and that is why we have learnt the very important controlling measures of deforestation. Okay, so now if you have understood, let me give you a few questions. Question number 1. Who coined the term biodiversity? Question number 2. What are the natural causes of deforestation? Third, list 3 important consequences of deforestation. Last question. Differentiate between afforestation and deforestation. Please make a note of these questions. Try answering these questions. If you find any difficulty, you will contact me. My name is Shupriya ma'am, Shupriya Bhattacharya ma'am, and any doubts you can mail me, you can send your emails to me at my email ID, which is shupriyabganguly at tigps.in. So, thank you children and have a nice day.